Friends. So today I'll help you to memorize the structures of 20 different amino acids. In part 1 I have discussed which of these are essential and which of these are non-essential. I have gave a good way to memorize them. And today in this part 2 of this video I'll help you to memorize the structures of each amino acids. If anyone asks you the name of any amino acids, you would be able to write the structures of that. So let's get started. See, these are the 20 amino acids which I'll help you to memorize. So let's get started. So first of all, you have to remember these. First, aliphatic chain amino acids. You have to remember these five amino acids. See, these are very easier and basic structures. It is very easy to memorize them. For example, I guess you all know that the basic structure of amino acids is this: COO minus, CH, and H3 plus. This is the basic structure of amino acids. This everybody should know. So see, these five, memorizing these five is very easy. You have to add only one carbon. See, glycine is the basic structure. For alanine, you have to add one carbon here. For valine, you have to add two carbons here. For leucine, you have to add one carbon here. And for isoleucine, you have to add one carbon here in valine. So it's very easy to memorize these five. It would take hardly 15 to 20 minutes to memorize these five. These five are very basic, so it would be very much easy to memorize this. Now let's come to the point 2. Point 2, you have to remember that arginine, you have to relate arginine to Argentina. It is always basic. You have to remember the statement that arginine is always basic. Arginine is always basic. I have categorized these amino acids into these things: benzene containing amino acids, acidic amino acids, heterocyclic amino acids, sulfur containing amino acids, hydroxyl group containing amino acids. I have seen many YouTube videos. Maximum 90% of them are they just stop right here and say that this was the trick, so remember this. But no, this is not the trick. I'm going to show you the trick. These are just classifications, and you have to remember that which of these comes under which classification. Okay. So in this part 2, the step 2, you have to remember that arginine is always basic. In step 3, it is a little bit important. In step 3, if any of the amino acids starts with A or G, your mind should strike that is there 2 times T or there is no 2 times T. For example, we are taking aspartate. Is there is 2 times T? Yes, there are 2 T's in this word. So if there are 2 T's, then it would be an acidic amino acids. If there are 2 T, it would be an acidic amino acids. If there is no 2 times T, for example, let's take an example of glutamine. There is only one T right here. There are no double T's. So we'll go ahead and say it is an amide of acidic amino acids. It is an amide of acidic amino acids. So this trick you have to remember that if in the case of A or G, if there is 2 times T, it is an acidic amino acids. If there is no double T or no 2 times T, then it is an amide of acidic amino acids. So now many people can say, what about arginine? Arginine doesn't have double T, or arginine doesn't have double T, and it is neither amide of acidic amino acid. But so you have remembered earlier that arginine is always basic. Arginine is always basic, and except arginine, these are the words with A and G. There are 2 more words with A and G, that is glycine and alanine, but you have memorized this earlier, right? These are the easiest one. I said that you have to memorize this 5 earlier. So in case of A and G, if there is 2 times T in that word, then that would be an acidic amino acid. If there would be no 2 times T in that word, then it would be an amide of acidic amino acid. Okay. Now 2 times E. If they gave any word, suppose this. These are the different letters which can come here. So if you spot 2 E's there, then your mind should say that there is 2 times E, therefore it can be hydroxyl group or it can be sulfur containing group. Because in hydroxyl group there are 2 compounds, these 2 compounds carry 2 E. And in sulfur containing group, that is this, there are 2 E's in this compound. Except these 4 compounds, that is these 2 and these 2, there are no 2 E's in any compounds. You can say that phenylalanine has 2 E, 1 E here and 1 E here, but you have to see that in one word. In one word you have to find 2 E's, and that is in only these 4 compounds, that is serine, threonine, cysteine and methionine. So if 2 times E comes, then your mind should strike that either it would be hydroxyl group containing amino acids or it would be sulfur containing amino acids. Now, how would you identify it is in hydroxyl or sulfur? So for hydroxyl group, you have to memorize this ST. ST is a caste in India. It is also in a scheduled tribe. So like this, you can remember that ST, hydroxyl group is ST, and sulfur containing group is CM. Sulfur containing group is CM. You can repeat it a number of times and it will come into your head that hydroxyl group is ST and sulfur containing group is CM. So if 2 times E is spotted, then you can say that either it is hydroxyl group or sulfur containing group, and if any of the S or T comes, then it is an hydroxyl group. If any of the C or M comes, then it is a sulfur containing group. For example, there is a word with double E's here. Okay, so you have figured it out that there are 2 E's, therefore it can be hydroxyl group or it can be sulfur containing group. Now your aim should be the first letter. What is the first letter? If the first letter is out of S or T, then you can say that it is a hydroxyl group containing amino acids. If the first letter is out of C or M, then you can guess that it is an sulfur containing amino acids. Okay, so this is done. The fifth thing you have to remember that for basic amino acids, LIAR, LYAR. Generally the spelling of LIAR is LIAR, but you have to remember this for basic LIAR 4. You would be wondering that why I wrote 4 here, so you will know this in later part of the video. LIAR 4. Basic means LIAR 4. This is basic amino acid, lysine arginine. LIAR. So if any of the word comes lysine or arginine, you would be able to guess that it is a basic amino acids. LIAR means basic amino acids. The 4 you have to remember this. You will know this in the later part of the video that why have I wrote what is the significance of this 4. For benzene containing amino acids, how would you know that this amino acid has benzene ring in it or not? So feel of any spherical structure. For example, benzene containing amino acids, there are 2 amino acids which contain benzene, which is phenylalanine and tyrosine. See, are you getting the feel of a benzene here? Phenyl. Yes, everybody would get a feel of benzene here. Tyrosine. You have to match this word with tire. Tire is a circular shaped object. So you can say that yes, it gives us some feel of benzene, some spherical type object. So like this, you can remember that for benzene containing feel of any spherical structure, that is phenylalanine and tyrosine. Tyrosine, why? Because it gives a feel of tire, and phenylalanine because phenyl is present, which gives us feel of benzene. For heterocyclic, just remember the order. It's PHT. Just repeat it a number of times and you will get into your head. Just feel the order. PHT. Just remember the order. PHT. That is, P has the smallest structure, H has the medium, and T has the largest structure. Only remember this and you will know the structure. I will tell you in the later part of the video that how to remember the structures. Okay, so you have to memorize these 7 points. So you would say that there are so many points. It would be better that if I remember these 20 structures also. No, it would be very much hard if you read this, if you try to memorize these 20 structures alone without these points. These points will reduce 90% of your work. This will reduce 90% of your time and hard work. Okay, so now let's come to the rules. So rules to remember the first structure. And what do I mean by the first structure here? First structure here is meant by this serine. In hydroxyl group, the first structure. In basic amino acids, the first structure. In benzene containing, the first structure. In acidic amino acids, the first structure. In amides, this first structure I am talking about. So for first structure, add carbon. And how would you know that what is the first structure? How would you know that in the case of hydroxyl group, serine is the first structure, not threonine? Here word ST comes in the place. ST. You have remembered ST. S comes first, T comes second. So like this you can remember. You have memorized CM. Cysteine comes first, then comes methionine. You have memorized LIAR. Li comes first, R comes second. Like this you have memorized. So I forgot you to tell about this and it will come later part of the video. No, I have told you already this one. 2 times T. In case of A or G, you have to see 2 times T. In case of A or G, AG, you have to see 2 times T. If there is 2 times T, it is acidic. If there is no 2 times T, it is as amide of acidic amino acids. AG. This would give you the order, which one is first, which one is second. Which one is first, which one is second. A is first, G is second. Okay. So now Let's come back to the rules. For first structure, add carbon to this group. This group is the basic. I have told you earlier that this is the basic of amino acids. So add carbon to this group in every structure. I mean what I mean to say. For example, serine. Add carbon to this group. This would be the first step. Add carbon to this group. Add carbon to this group. For aspartate, add carbon to this group. Carbon to this group. Okay, so I'm done. Now what is the second? What is here? For lysine, add 4 carbon. This is a kind of exception, you can say. In the case of lysine, add 4 carbons. Where is lysine? Here is lysine. So instead of adding 1, add 4 carbons. 2, 3, 4. We have added 4 carbons. Then add the group to the above compound to get the structure. Above compound with this compound. Then add the group. Which group am I talking about? For example, serine. What we have memorized is there 2 E's. Yes, there is 2 E. One is here, one is here. Now after recognizing 2 E's, our brain should strike that this can be hydroxyl group or other sulfur group. 2 times E, hydroxyl group or sulfur containing group. For hydroxyl group we have memorized St. For sulfur containing group we have memorized Cm. And where does it come? Serine means S. S comes in St. Means it would be an hydroxyl containing group. So hydroxyl means then add the group to the above compound. Then just add hydroxyl here, OH. Phenylalanine, P. Now this gives a feel of benzene to you. Yes, phenyl I told you earlier. So add the group, add pH. Lysine, is there 2 times E? No, there is no 2 times E. L, liar, Lyar. You have memorized this liar thing. So this, where you have memorized? This is a basic compound. So you memorize that for basic liar, Lyar, liar. So you have memorized this for basic, it is liar. That's for lie, therefore it would be a basic compound. For basic compound, just add NH3 here. Just add NH3 plus here. Now this would be the basic compound. For aspartate, there are 2 T's. There are 2 T's, and what we have read, in the case of 2 T's, Ag, in the case of 2 T's, it would be this acidic amino acids. In case of Ag, if there is 2T, you have to remember that it is an acidic amino acid. For acidic, what is the group of acid? COOH is the group of acid. So just add COOH. You got the structure aspartate. For asparagine, it also starts with A. But is there 2 T's here? No, there is no 2T here. So it would be an amide of acidic amino acids. So if there is no 2 times T, no 2 times T, then it would be an amide of acidic amino acids. So you can write here amide. What is the amide of acidic amino? CONH2 is the amide group. Okay, CONH2. So this, just add here CONH2. CONH2. So this is the structure of asparagine. So we'll check it later that are we doing it right or wrong. Okay, cysteine, C. There are 2 times E. Okay, so now your mind should struck that either it would be an hydroxyl containing group or it would be a sulfur containing group. And sulfur means Cm, hydroxyl means St. Where does the C come? C comes here. There is sulfur containing group. So we knew there is sulfur containing group. So just add S here. Okay. So now let's match that we have done these things. Is it right or wrong? Are they right or wrong? Okay. So let's match from bottom. So this is the structure of, yes, we have done it right. SC. So we have done it right. Cysteine, asparagine. What is the structure of asparagine? Let's see. Let's check. Yes, this is the right structure. H2N, CO. Yes, here we can write OC or CO. Doesn't matter. Main is you have to add the group. What is the group? CONH2. It is amide. How we got to know that is an amide? Because there is no 2 T's. Okay. So like this, we've got the structure of this. Let's check aspartate. Aspartate, yes. We have add one acidic and one C. See, this is the general structure of amides, on what we have add 1 carbon and 1 COOH group. 1 carbon and 1 COOH group. Okay. So now let's check the structure. Lysine. Yes, we've done it right. We have add 4 carbon. That is 4 carbon here. 4 carbon here. We have to add 4 carbon and one NH3 plus because it is a basic. How we know that it is basic? Liar. By liar we knew that it is a basic amino acid. For phenylalanine, let's check the structure of phenylalanine. Yes, it's right. Just add pH and carbon. See, this was the general structure. We have add 1 carbon and phenyl, add 1 carbon, so this is also right. Let's check serine. Serine is also right. You have to add just one carbon and one OH. One carbon and an OH. So see, remember, memorizing the first structure is easy. Without seeing anything, you can write the structure of any of these first structures. Okay. So now let's come to the second structure. Second structures, I mean by second structures, I mean this: threonine, glutamine, glutamate, arginine, methionine. So how would you remember the structures of the second structures? So for second structures, you have to remember the first structures. From first structures, you will get the second structures. I'll tell you how. See, for OH, for hydroxyl containing group, add carbon to the left side of the first. What? I know you haven't understand this. For hydroxyl compound containing group, add carbon to the left side of the first compound to get the second compound. What was the first compound? First compound was this. What we have told that add carbon to the left side means you have to add carbon to this. Means we can write this like this also, no? OH down here. So I have said that add carbon to the left side of the first. Just add carbon here. Means this was the structure of lysine. This was the structure of serine. This was the structure of serine. Now add one carbon here. So we got the structure of threonine. Okay, simple. For sulfur containing group, add carbon both the side of S of first compound. What was the first compound of tyrosine? That is, it was yes, for sulfur containing group, it is so where is sulfur containing group? Sulfur containing group, sulfur containing group. What we have read? 2 times E, and sulfur means Cm. So we have to see the second compound, that is M, and 2 times E. That is methionine. Where is methionine? Here is methionine. So what we have read that in sulfur containing group, add carbon both the sides of S. Add carbon both the sides of S. Here we got the structure of methionine. Okay. Now for tyrosine. For tyrosine, where is C? For benzene containing group, add one OH to the left of the first. What is the first compound? This was the first compound. I have wrote the first compound here. See, pH we can write this also, no? pH is just benzene only, phenyl, not phenol, phenyl. So pH. So this was the first structure. What else for benzene containing? Add one OH to the left. Add one OH to the left. So we got the structure of phenyl. We got the structure of tyrosine. For arginine. For arginine, see, in every other this except arginine, all we have to add carbon. Add carbon. Just add one carbon. Okay. But in arginine we have to add 2 nitrogen on the carbon of the first. What was the first of arginine? Lyre. Arginine is the second, lysine is the first. Means lysine was the first. What was the structure of lysine? The structure of lysine was this. And what we have said that add 2 nitrogen, one with double bond and one with single bond. Only this you have to remember as an exception, that one with double bond and one with single bond. So this is the lysine. Okay, lysine, you have to add one nitrogen, one double bond here and one with single bond here. So you got the structure for arginine also. Glutamate, rest, just add one carbon in between. Rest. See, glutamine, what was the first structure of glutamine? That is this aspartate. The structure of aspartate was this. Rest, just add one carbon in between. One carbon in between. Glutamine, one carbon in between. Methionine, we have done it earlier also. Now let's check that I have done it right or wrong. Let's check on threonine. Threonine, yes, it's definitely right. CH3, CHOH, CH3, and CHNH3, C double O-. For tyrosine, let's check tyrosine. Yes, it's right. Let's check arginine. See, arginine is a little bit exception. You have to struggle a little bit in this, but after doing it multiple number of times, or 2 or 3 times, you'll memorize this. This is also right. Then let's check glutamate. Glutamate structure. Yes, definitely right. You have to add one carbon in between. See, you have to memorize these things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have to just memorize 5 rules and you will get hold on everything. See, for remembering this second structure, you have to memorize the first structure. This is the first structure. I have told you the way how to draw the first structures. Okay, add one carbon to this and add one group to this. And then second structure, you have to find second structure from the first one. Now this is also right. Glutamine is also correct. Methionine, let's check. Is this also correct? One carbon to this carbon to this, one carbon here, one carbon here, one carbon here, two carbons on both the side of S. So see, these are the 5 rules which you have to memorize. These are the 5 rules which are memorized, and these are the 2 rules which you have to memorize. That's all. And you will get hold on these 20 structures. And you can ask that what about these structures? What about these 3 structures? See, these 3 structures, what I say that you to memorize the order PHT. See, you have to just write the structures like this. See, I haven't gave it an extra effort to memorize. See, PHT. What is PHT? 5-membered ring with a nitrogen here and 2 hydrogen plus COO minus. What is H? Again a 5-membered ring with 2 nitrogens, one double bond here, one double bond here. Then add carbon, then add the normal group, that is CHNH3 plus COO minus. And for T, there is a one benzene. Yes, one benzene like this, and one again 5-membered ring, heterocyclic ring here. Now same CH NH3. I'm not writing the hydrogen of the carbon of this. You can, this is general, this is obvious. So like this you can memorize this. Only you have to memorize that the order. P is the smallest one, H is the medium, and T is the biggest structure one. So like this you can memorize these 3 also. These 3 you can, because there is no trick to memorize these 3. So you have to do little bit struggle, write it 3 to 4 times and you'll get this. Okay. So this was the video. I guess it's a little bit long, but this is worth watching. You will now be able to do any of the questions, any of the structures. For example, let's take some 2-3 more examples, so that you trust this concept. Lysine. Let's take lysine. Where you have read lie means liar. Where was liar? It was in base. And what was the exception? That in this you have to add 4 carbon to the normal group. So what is the normal? The normal group was COO minus CH NH3 plus. Now add 4 carbons. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now add the group. What was the group? As it was the base, add NH3 plus. So it was the group. So the lysine we got this. For example, let's take serine. Are there 2E? Yes, there are 2E. 2E means either it will be hydroxyl group containing or it would be sulfur containing group. And what we have memorized, certain hydroxyl compound containing group, it would be ST, and sulfur CM. S comes under ST. It is the first structure. So first write the group this. First write this group COO minus CH NH3 plus. Now what I have told you earlier, that add 1 carbon and add the group. Add the group. Group here is OH, as it is ST. So add 1. This is structure of serine. Now let's take any second structure. Let's take any second structure. For example, let's take glutamine. Let's say glutamine. Are there 2 T? See, glutamine comes under A and G, right? So in A and G we have to see, are there 2 T's or there are no 2 T's? Are there 2 T's? No, there are no 2 T's. No, there are no 2 T's. So it would be amide of acidic. So this is the second structure, right? As first structure is of A, second structure is of G. So this is the second structure, right? So in the second structure, you have to write this. First write this COO minus CH. See, what have I told you earlier, that for second structure you have to always proceed via the first structure. You have to write the first structure first. So in first structure we have read that add carbon to this group and add the group. What is the group? Amide of acidic. There CONH2 is the group. Amide of acidic. CONH2 is the group. So this, you can write it anyways. CONH2 like this also you can write. You can write like this also. Doesn't matter. So this is the first structure. We have read the second structure. In second structure, what I have told you that add carbon in the middle. Add carbon in the middle of these 2 groups. These 2 groups are in the middle. So this is structure of glutamine. So I have given examples also. So you can trust this concept. This is a very easy one to memorize all the 20 amino acids. You will get hold on this, all the 20 amino acids. So thank you, and I'll meet you in the next video.